Let's talk about Java Fern Care. This is going to be video one in a series where we'll cover some plant topics using this tank of Java ferns. There's three kinds of them in there. Most of them are potted. They're fairly mature. This one back here is about the size of a dinner plate. I want to get these cleaned up so they look a little nicer. I've trimmed two of them already, this one and one on the other side. And I just want to get them looking a little nicer and sell most of them. Actually, the goal really is to clean the shrimp out of here. I have shrimp in here that are mixed and they got to go. Future videos will cover things in greater detail. I'd like to cover lighting and fertilizer and whatnot. Again, using Java ferns as the example. I want to keep these videos as short as possible, so let's dive right into this. Purposes of this video, just cover these basic components of this tank, so in future videos you're not curious about an aspect of the tank itself. The tank is a standard 75-gallon. The water in it is unaltered tap water, except for fertilizers. I do add fertilizers. The lighting is a single bulb, a single 4-foot fluorescent T5 high output, and it's daylight spectrum 6400 Kelvin, right? It has an air stone in it. The air is turned off just because of the noise. There's no filtration, just the air stone. And, I just do vacuum. I vacuum it every once in a while. The water, there's one thing to that you don't see right now. The air bubbles break into a container that is above it. That's turned upside down. It's just like a sandwich container. And the bubbles break in that. And it helps reduce humidity in my fish room. Probably shouldn't even brought it up because you can't see it. But just like I said, the air bubbles just break into a container that's above it. Just to reduce humidity. All right, the CO2, I use a Bell system. It's right here in the middle. That is a container that just has a bubble of CO2 in it, and it diffuses just naturally into my water, and I refill it every 2-3 days. The substrate that is in here is fluorite, so that's a clay, and there's not a whole lot of it in there. It is one of the things I do want to change on this tank. It needs more substrate in it. The thing here that you see on the bottom, those clay pots, that is for lack of better words, a snail squisher. I put food in there, and as the snails collect on it, I just squish them. It's one of the things I feed the most to my shrimp are snails. And like I said, I just put some food on there and let the snails gather on it and squish them. Another interesting aspect of this tank are these Daphnia. You can see them bouncing around. That's Russian red Daphnia. I put them in all my aquariums that do not have fish because they would eat them. But like my shrimp and my plant tanks, every one of them in my fish room has Daphnia in it. And the reason they are in there is to prevent green water. And any that die naturally are the shrimp eat. So it's a naturally occurring shrimp food, I guess, whatever you'd call it. All right, so they are in there to just prevent the water from turning green and feed my shrimp a little bit. The next video you will see, I will have removed all these Java ferns and trimmed them. So, like this one here, and there's one on the other side. So they all look a little neater. I just want to have fresher leaves. So as they grow back, they just the plant will look nicer. And then, as I said, I want to sell most of these Java ferns because I just have way too many of them. All right, so check back for future videos.